guys, so I'm gonna make an atomic DPS loadout video, melee and range. Tell you my personal preference. I love stats revamp. Atomic's really good on it. Pretty power hungry, but I mean it's still really fun power. So I'm gonna show you guys my atomic DPS. We'll go straight into traits here. And weapon, it's a play from the trade loadout, so you really don't need a weapon unless you prefer to have some weapon combos. So I wouldn't really bother with that much. Super speed. Now, the one thing that I made mistaken when I spec, which I'm going to reback and respec for, is these guys, these knockback and restraint recovery, breakout mastery. I mean, these are so helpful because atomic is the loadouts that I use are combo based, so you can get interrupted pretty easily. You're gonna need a robot sidekick and possibly this, and I'll explain Neo Venom Boost later on. I personally don't use it, but you can. And I'll explain that in a little bit. Stat points is pretty self-explanatory. You've probably seen a million of these videos by now. Super powered, play from Trey. Get that 10% might. Then all your crits, and then spec full might power. After that, you can spec into health. If you have like 300 plus skill points, unfortunately, I don't have 229 on this character. So I'll show you my gear. My gear really isn't that good right now. Like, look at my inventory. It's miserable. But I don't even have white sockets in my neck. None of that. I do have the two DPS ones for sure, but I don't even have a lot of mods. My might is 14,463, and then my power is 2190. I'm 198 CR. Then I will show you the loadout. So my preferred loadout in this whole situation is the first one I'm going to show you. I think it's great. I think it's a great loadout. I think you're going to do great damage with it. So it's Neutron Bomb, Nuclear Burst, Radiation Shower, Atomic Blast, Robot Sidekick, and Proton Remedy. So this is going to be a combo loadout, mainly a little bit of burst in there, and I'll explain that here in a second when I show you the rotation. So what you want to do is I'll show you out here, and I'll show a little slow at first. So it's their range, so you're gonna tap range 3 times, right? So 1, 2, 3, and then you can pop Proton Remedy, and it'll activate Glucon Aura, and this will automatically make Nuclear Bomb and Nuclear Burst hit harder. It's their PI. When this aura is active, they hit harder. You can go ahead and get fast with it, like I'll show you here. 1, 2, arms are moving, you can pop it, bam, you got your Glucon Aura. So you can move pretty quickly with it. So then I'll show you the rotation here with it non-active. There it goes, cool. And I'll go a little slow at first, and then I'll show you like it really fast. So bam, 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 triangle, then other 3 triangle, radiation burn, and then just repeat the rotation, and this is it, man. And it hits pretty hard. All right, and then I will back up here, and I'll show you like a legit like damage like a damage come out, I guess, or whatever the technical term is. God forbid if I knew. I'll show that like towards the end on each one. I'll show that on here, on the 8, and down there on single target. So it's a ranged rotation. It hits pretty hard, and you can like here. I'll show you the clipping. So if you play with Celestial, I'll tell you what, it definitely helps even in hard light. If you know how to clip really well, then it won't take you long to get the hang of it. It's really not a hard clipping if you haven't. But yeah, just try to get good at clipping, and you can get really quick. Like as soon as you see like barely the animation of your next ability or like your last combo, go ahead and pop the next power, and see you can clip Radiation Shower with your Cola super well, very clean, very consistent. That's why I like this loadout so much, because it's the most consistent out of the 3 that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you kind of a mid-range variant of this loadout, and then I'm going to show you a melee loadout as well. But this is just amazing. Like, I love this loadout. So next I'll show you the supercharge. So I use Atomic Blast, and Atomic Blast is okay. Like, it hits us a large tick. That's all it does. It's a 50% supercharge, um, and creates a nuclear energy in front of you, dealing heavy damage to enemies. So it just hits real hard. That's all it does. It's its purpose. I don't use Radiation Burn because it's 1000% supercharge, and in this rotation I do not use my, what's it call it, supercharge generator, which is Unleash Antimatter. So since I don't use that, I don't really bother with that because I feel like I don't get it as much, and I feel like it's kind of a waste of time. You know what I mean? And a waste of power, I guess. It just takes way too long to charge up without it, so I don't really use it. And that's where it comes back to Neo Venom Boost. That's what I was saying. If you want to, it hits hard. Like, it, your damage. It doesn't like significantly increase or decrease. It still hits about, you still hit about the same. But Neo Venom Boost is still very, very good. So I'm going to show you this rotation. I'm going to show you the supercharge, and then I will show you a rotation full up. So as you can see, like, it hit like what, 12-12, and then like a 34k crit. So if you pop your supply drop before you slap that son of a bitch, you will definitely get probably a really large crit. I've hit like 76k crit, which isn't bad. It's not guaranteed though. It is really RNG. So if you get lucky, you get lucky. So next up, I will show you a full combat phaser through this whole thing. So that's reset. So this is like how much damage you can do. It does about 10k a second, a little bit, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, depending on your crit chance. So here, I'll show you. Bam. So 10-3, like I said, it hits about that. That was a 17.2% crit, so that was really low on my crit. Usually the average crit is about 23, I believe. Like, there was a 20 up above on that other, just for the supercharge. So that's really, really low. So it probably would have hit almost 11, if it was like a 23 maybe. So that's not too bad. Like I said, it's pretty good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you the melee rotation. So this is the melee mid-range this rotation, and you only change out one power, and that is switching Radiation Shower for Ganger Blast. I apologize, Ganger Blast. There he is, and it's the same way. It hits hard. It's a little bit more power hungry. I don't see any significant damage like on the boards or anything from it, and when you test it, it still does about the same damage. So, but it's the same thing. You just bump, 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 and when that's done, you do that. And it hits pretty hard. It's just not ranged. It's more up close, a little more dangerous, and it still hits good. It still hits hard. Now I'm going to show you the full melee rotation. This melee rotation is really good. It's just super, super power hungry. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, if they kept it like where the power regeneration wasn't so bad on it, it would be so OP. Like, it'd be very, very strong. But like, you'll see throughout this, I have, my power's 22k almost. It's kind of low, but it's not like low. But I mean, it could be higher, of course. But still, like, even so. So the cool thing about this one though is, so I threw on a new move that I didn't tell you about, Electron Flare, and all Electron Flare is it like puts like a aura around your body, and it does damage over time. So you could do little bit of damage over time. Now, I don't repop it continuously. I only do it in the beginning of a rotation because it's easy to clip with Proton Remedy. You can clip the two together like that. And then you can see this is the aura around your body, and that does damage. If you've ever played with Rage, that's what Violence is like. And here, bam, you know, it's a small tick, but it's a tick no less. So then I'll show you this. All right, so you just do the same thing. This is same way. So Atom Splitter is now melee, so it's all melee combos, so all square. You can clip Electron Flare with Proton and get your Glucon Aura, and then just go back and forth with these two powers, and then clip them together. So, and look, I'm already out of power. I wasn't paying attention. But it hits hard, like as you can see. Bing, bam, bam. And that's about it. This one's a little bit harder too because Atom Splitter and Thermochemical Explosion both have really long cast times. So when you're sitting there like in an alert, especially, maybe a raid it would be better. I haven't really tested this loadout in a raid too much, the melee version, but when you're in an alert, you know, you gotta sit there and run up real quick to them and bam, you know, it takes some time. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna throw back on my other rotation here, my normal rotation. This is my preferred, hands down. It's not that power hungry. It's super smooth, really clippable with your cola. So if you don't have a troll, like Radiation Shower and the cola clip is so clean, and I think that really helps in DPSing. Like when you have just a loadout that's very like it's just smooth, it's not clunky. It definitely helps. So I'm gonna show off the 8 sparring target first, and then we're gonna go ahead and go over to the other ones, the single target. 2, 3, and. All right. And you could clip it fast. Like even I'm still learning to clip, you know, even faster and faster with it. So just take your time, go to your league hall, get some practice in, and before you know it, man, you'll be clipping like crazy. Bam. So like 10-3, like 10-2, that's about like what I get. That was a 24% crit, so that's a little bit better. It's pretty good on ads. It's not too bad. If they were grouped together a little bit better like that, like it does more damage. And if you are a little bit closer, it seems like you do a little bit more damage. Um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for this combat phaser to expire, and we're gonna do a single target. Now the single target isn't top tier, like it isn't top tier. It does about like 47.5, about like 1400, like 140k, 150k. So it's not like, you know, the god be all of single target, but by all means, it's not bad at all. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm going to do this real quick, and then yeah. And it does hit high crits though, like I just hit 11k crit there, which is really awesome. Um, that's usually with the last move from NutriBurst. So right there was really, really high for me. Usually I hit around like 47, but there you go, that's 16, so that's pretty average. I believe that's what I hit on my nature, a little bit higher on my nature than that. So, but yeah, Atomic's a great power. Have fun with it. The supercharge, switch out if you want. I love stats revamp. I think I'm gonna make some more of these videos. I don't know if I'll do it on my main because I am nature, and there's a gazillion nature DPS loadouts. Um, I might do like maybe a controversy one because there's like this big spin up for me against Roar and Voracious Plants. I'll explain maybe over there. But I'll see y'all later. Peace.